This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Vaccine talk and big accomplishments. The UAE ranks first in the world in the distribution of daily doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. Just in the past 7 days, the UAE's daily dose rate is 1.16 per 100 people. Overall, the UAE's dose administration rate is 20.8% or per 100 people. That's second globally after another country. Now, the country also ranks fifth in the world when it comes to the availability of the vaccine after the US, China, UK. Now, the UAE has administered over 2.06 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine as of Tuesday. That was as of yesterday. In the weekly COVID-19 briefing, Dr. Saif Al-Bahri, spokesperson of the National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management, said that the country's vaccination campaign is one of the most important national initiatives in our history. He's urging people to get vaccinated. He's saying we call on all community members to receive the vaccine at the nearest health center in order to reach the required targets in the fastest time. Our best way to recover is to take the vaccine. And let's not forget that the country wants to vaccinate 50% of the population from now until March or the first quarter of the year. So we're definitely heading to that very quickly. I feel like we're going to even vaccinate more than 50% in the next 2 months. But somebody here in the Morning Majlis got vaccinated yesterday.
I did. And, well, I have to say, shout out to the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority team and our own HR team that were very, made us feel very comfortable, I've got to tell you that. And shout out to our friends here, namely Mr. Ismail Al-Hosseini, who's our head of HR. And he really got us motivated for it and really got us... we were being nervous. I was being nervous for sure, because before this I was like, yes, I'll do the vaccine, no problems. Yeah. And as soon as my appointment came, I was just getting cold feet. I literally was scared. I was like, no, what am I putting in my body? What will happen to me? So look, it's completely natural.
What did you feel?
So when I took the vaccine, it was a fairly straightforward experience, okay? Yeah. So I was busy trying to do it for the gram, posing for the photo.
I saw that.
And I didn't even know. And I was waiting for the pain so I could say, okay, now I'm getting vaccinated. Here's my thumbs up, which was the standard Instagrammable picture. But no, I literally was told, you're done. And I literally thought, oh, I thought I'll have to pose, Yeah. But they're like, no, you're done. Here's your photos, and here's, you're done, and then they come back in 21 days. So look, they don't just jab you for no reason. They do check your blood pressure at the time. Should you be a diabetic patient, they can do a blood sugar level test as well. Make sure if you are on any prescriptions, and then do let them know. They did confirm and said that people with heart conditions can take it, depending on how controlled it is. If it's all over the place, then no. But usually you speak to that doctor there. And also, of course, if you're regularly seeing a cardiologist, if you're seeing any other doctor for whatever reason, then make sure you do consult them first before taking the vaccine. And look, it's been, I took it, I didn't get any side effects. I don't feel heavy in my arm either. Yes, I do feel a bit weird initially yesterday. When I was lifting my arm, I could feel that, okay, it just seems like I lifted dumbbells yesterday, basically. So that's how it felt. No nausea, no vomiting, no fever, no stuffy nose. So I'm okay, and I'm doing well. And it was a surreal experience. I felt a bit more confident, to be honest, because when I saw my staff, our staff doing it, we were all in the same boat, It just felt okay that the entire team, most of the staff members at Sharjah Broadcasting Authority were doing it. But the way it was organised, the way it was coordinated, hats off. It's not easy getting your staff to do this vaccine drive, so well done to our team here at Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. Certainly a proud moment for us. And inshallah, let's see if with this campaign, we can get rid of the virus soon. But I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, certainly waves of optimism as well. I mean, on social media, all my friends are taking it and posting stories of it. And There's a sentiment here, the authorities assuring everybody and really putting forth the message that this is a safe vaccine. And you got to do your part to ensure the safety of yourself and your family and loved ones and everybody in here as well. The UAE has been very keen on making this vaccine available. They're offering all residents and citizens this Sinopharm vaccine free of charge. And in fact, lowered the minimum age requirement to 16 as well. That's the National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority. And they've really done their due part in educating the public about the safety of the vaccine, how it works, and whether or not you should take it. And we're seeing it everywhere. Great steps and great initiatives to get people vaccinated here in the country.
Another point to remember is if you've been diagnosed or if you had contracted COVID-19, they do ask you to take a 3-month gap between your virus and the vaccine. Initially, when we spoke to G42 Healthcare, they said it's okay. But as per the protocol that the Ministry of Health and Prevention is following, if you tell your doctor or whoever's administering the vaccine saying that you were diagnosed with the virus, or even you show your Al-Hassan app, they'll calculate how much time has been done. If it's been less than 3 months, they'll ask you to wait, because the generic reason why they say that is because for any flu symptoms as well, for example, your antibodies are there in your body for at least 90 days. So that's one of the reasons why they said, okay, it's fine that you don't take the vaccine, but in terms of the safety and efficacy, the country's reported it as a pretty high percentage. And the other reason why I took it is, look, back in school, when we were growing up, the injection time or the vaccine time of leaving your classroom and going and queuing up outside the school clinic was like a mini field trip. We managed to take some time off the lesson. We queued. We didn't check anything. The vaccine was just administered to us because the Ministry of Health has approved it, and we're just quietly taking it without. And back then, obviously, we didn't have too much of an internet access to grill and to overread anything or consult Dr. Google. But now, obviously, we have more of an access, and we try to read up a little bit more about it. But for me, was if the Ministry of Health and Prevention approved it, I'm sure they must have thought a lot about it. Then that was it for me, really. Trusting the government, and it did happen, and I'm glad that the vaccine is done and out of the way. So if you've got any other questions, do text us on 4215. We'll be right back here on the Morning Majlis. Up next, we shall be talking a little bit more about developments, particularly when it comes to recovery in the world of global trade. What's going on? All of this will be discussed right here on the Morning Majlis.
Stocks, docks and barrels. This morning's big business recap.
Global trade, all about that. It's set to recover from the pandemic faster than the 2008 financial crisis. That's a big story and a big pointer to take back, especially from a very renowned survey group and market analysts, economists, intelligence unit. They obviously it was commissioned by DP World, but it was conducted by them, and they predict that trade will recover to pre-pandemic levels more quickly than the revival following the global financial crisis, which took 26 months back then. Nearly a third thought the recovery would be twice as fast, with trade returning to pre-pandemic levels within a year. And we've got a couple of statements emerging from the DP World chairman himself, who spoke at great length about how it has accelerated the economic movements.
Yes, Mr. Sultan bin Sulaiman, the DP World's chairman. He said the effects of the pandemic have accelerated the transformation of the supply chains and prompted rapid adaptation to ensure resiliency in international trade. And the global business community has risen to the challenge and taken strong and decisive action to make supply chains more robust and agile, the benefits of which will be reaped in future years. Now, the COVID-19 global health crisis really resulted, as we all have seen, in lockdowns in most of the world's major economies, paralyzed international travel, hit manufacturing bases, and disrupted supply chains that led to plunging of the global economy into a deep deep recession. So the volume of international trade for the first 3 quarters of 2020 is down 8.2% compared with the same period last year, according to the latest data from the World Trade Organization. And this drop is smaller than the projected decline of 9.2% for the whole of 2020 in the WTO's most recent trade forecast. But growth for the whole year largely depends on whether the recent resurgence of COVID-19 takes a toll on trade in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and to put it all in perspective, according to data compiled by the UN Conference on Trade and Development, a bit of a recap on international trade in 2020. There's no denying that COVID-19 has had a strong impact on international trade, with the first signs of that downturn being already evident in January, where most major economies were recording negative trends. The sharpest drop in international trade happened in the second quarter of 2020. Global merchandise trade falling by more than 20% relative to the same quarter of the last year. And trade trends for the third quarter were significantly better than the second quarter, although still negative on a year-to-year basis. So a sharp decline in 2020 that has been widespread, more pronounced in developed countries, however, especially with regards to exports. Trade among developing countries has been slightly more resilient in overall trade, however. But looking at these disruptions, I mean, they've affected some sectors significantly more than others. For instance, the value of global trade in the energy sectors has been the one with the most decline, with a drop of more than 35% in value in the year 2020. We got the machinery sector as well, the sector comprising metals and ores declining severely. And conversely, most of the agri-food sectors have been stable and recorded small increments as well. Even the textile sectors saw an increase in trade, however. So, I mean, this just sheds light on what exactly happened last year and how some sectors were affected by this differently. But this report certainly states that some developments, major political developments, will help the upswing in the year 2021, particularly the United Kingdom and the EU agreeing on that Brexit deal. He said it'll help global companies to finally make informed decisions about trade and investments, but cautioned that there are some still significant risks to be cautious about as well.
Yep, of course, and oil prices is also rising, or oil prices are rising as a result of the news about the stimulus, despite what they call it as a gloomy picture that was painted by the IEA reports. So it just goes to show that, look, the world is on a recovery phase at the moment, and you can actually feel it, to be honest. You sense it when you're out and about, especially here in the United Arab Emirates. You go out and you see lots more people are out and about, going to shops, going to shopping malls, and feel a little bit more comfortable than, let's say, 7 months ago, really. So much has changed, and we're really optimistic about what lies ahead in the future. What lies ahead in the future also is the world of sports headlines, courtesy of Aisha Al-Mazmi, and we'll be right back after that, continuing the discussions here on the Morning Majlis. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
New launches, new inaugurations, new markets here in the city of, or the Emirate of Sharjah, in particular in Al Jada. Arada has announced the launch of Manbat, a new farmers market that will focus on offering the very best in fresh and local produce at its popular Sharjah destination, Al Jada. So the outdoor market will take place every Friday between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., with the first edition taking place this Friday, the 22nd of January. So Manbat has been launched in partnership with the Ministry of Climate Change and Environment, which is dedicated to improving the performance of the UAE's agricultural sector, including via the creation of markets for local produce. It will also provide food producers in Sharjah and across the UAE with a unique opportunity to showcase their wares to a wide range of customers as well as retail buyers. In addition, it will also assist farmers by giving them valuable experience in the marketing and selling of goods.
Yeah, and His Excellency Sheikh Sultan bin Ahmed Al Qasmi, chairman of Arada, said Manbat is yet another strong community initiative taking place at Al Jada and would be a valuable addition to Sharjah's weekend calendar. And it's a nice, fun, safe day out for families to get together and speak and hang out with local farmers and food producers. There will be 30 on-site stalls featuring a wide range of farmers, entrepreneurs, suppliers, and food and beverage outlets. Even Spinneys is going to have a presence in there as well. And families visiting Membetta this Friday will also be able to view a rally of vintage and classic cars arranged by the Sharjah Old Cars Club. That rally is going to start at the Sharjah Old Cars Club at 3:30 p.m. and proceed to Al Jada afterwards.
Well, it's going to be a fun-filled event. Let me tell you that Pulse 95 is going to be there on Friday. So if you want to win some prizes, if you want to be very social with us, we'll be there mingling with you. So Friday Farmers Markets, it is going to be a lot of fun. And I've been told that it will be Mr. Hani Balkis from Future Talk Show and myself will be there. So it will be the Future Majlis. We'll be asking you some quizzes, some quiz questions, and we'll be asking you to do some challenges. So it is going to be a fun-filled show for sure. So if you'd like to come down, win some food vouchers, enjoy the final weekend of the winter, because trust me, it's going to be summer. Summer starting very early in February this time round. I know you're all going to be very hating me for saying this, but look at the temperatures outside. It's warm. It's not cold anymore. So make the most of the great weather. And come on down, chill, have fun. Let's have some snacks and some fun and games. And it is going to be a very interactive session. So we look forward to seeing you there and helping you win. And if you'd like to win, you can text us now on 4215, say you want to win in Al Jada, and I'll give you some good wasta and we'll put you up and we'll let you win some prizes beforehand. So
I'll be there.
Yes, for sure. So do drop us a text if you want to take part and want to be part of the celebrations. And we look forward to welcoming you there. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Lots to celebrate and lots to discuss. Have you ever lost something for a very long time and then found it in the most unexpected place ever, or the most expected place, and thought of yourself as a bit of a fool? It happened to me yesterday as well. Oh. Well, let us know on the text lines 4215 if something weird has happened, because we're talking about that up next. This is the Morning Majlis on Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Well, as the First Lady Melania Trump prepares to leave the White House, she has defended the renovations she has made on the People's House in an 850-word message posted to the White House website. Now, during her 4 years as the First Lady, Melania has taken on a number of renovation projects. Most notably, she has redesigned the White House's bowling alley, tennis pavilion, and also rose garden, and faced much criticism for each. Now, she wrote, "The projects that I have overseen during the last 4 years are ones which I believe will not only preserve the house's heritage, but also enhance the experience of its beauty and solemnity for generations to come. Through a team of dedicated advisors whose passion rose above mere cosmetic alterations, my attention was brought to areas of the house which were in great need of structural restoration and also preservation."
Yep, and it's going to be a big change, to be honest. The new administration coming in, no more Melania Trump, no more Donald Trump's flamboyant press conferences, but let's see what's going to happen. But the restoration and conservation of the priceless Zuba wallpaper in the family dining room, perhaps the most ambitious project of the administration, remains to be completed and will be, and I hope, admired by all those who will see its beauty.
Yeah.
Melania is leaving with a very good approval rate, with a lower approval rating,
Low,
in fact.
yeah. At 47%.
Like Michelle Obama was something different.
Oh, yeah.
I
she
think
was loved.
she was just.
She was very close to the people.
Yeah, she. You could say a little bit like Princess Diana.
She was down to earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was the people's, first lady.
Right.
And look at the.
Very involved.
Looking at the approval rating, she has 47%.
47%, yeah.
Michelle Obama 69, 67. Laura Bush. Was Laura Bush ever that involved? I don't understand.
She was very
remember,
quiet.
yeah.
She was very quiet.
Yeah.
It's
what was Laura
weird.
Bush even doing?
But maybe because she was so peaceful.
maybe she was the calm one.
She was so calm.
And Hillary Clinton at 56%. Look, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, they were very out there, very active couple.
Yeah.
But Melania Trump, even though she was... There were a lot of memes made of her.
Yeah.
Her reactions to when Donald Trump spoke, or at times when Donald Trump would be holding her hand and she'd leave it, and you could sense a bit of drama going on, and it was quite well captured. I was a big fan of Melania Trump. I'm gonna give you that. She was
kept a relatively low profile too.
Yeah, because you would assume that she would be quite out there as well. Very interesting. I think Jared Kushner made more of a political say than Melania Trump. That's it. How she left with a video encouraging people to be best and to choose love. It also comes after First Lady was criticised for refusing to give Biden a tour of the White House.
That's the thing as well. When you look at approval ratings for First Ladies, you can't really not be associated with your husband. So if he has a negative rating, it's going to have an impact on your popularity as well. So
true. Well, that's the situation with Melania Trump at the moment. Let us know on the text lines 4215. What kind of an approval rating would you have given her? And we will be right back and taking on board your thoughts and opinions on the show. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. Up next is going to be the halftime Majlis. It's going to be the world of sports. So much to discuss, so much to ponder over. So do join in the discussions. Text lines remain open 4215.
Stay fit. Stay fit. Stay fit.
Yes, staying fit. This is the halftime Majlis live on Pulse 95. We are talking about the world of sports. So much to look forward to at the moment. Yesterday was a bit of a dramatic collapse of Chelsea, and Frank Lampard is slightly concerned about the big form. And guess what? Leicester City is back on top, Mr. Ahmed Dawood. It is what a thrilling encounter, and Leicester has been creeping up, even though they won the Premier League, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
And now they're back again.
Definitely a great story for Leicester, who outwitted and outfought the visiting Chelsea and sealed victory thanks to first half goals by Wilfred Ndidi and James Maddison. And they could have scored more against the Chelsea team that mixed tantalizingly slick interplay, according to the media, with alarming sluggishness and terrible defending. And not a whole lot of people know what exactly is going on with Chelsea, but Frank Lampard's management is certainly under new scrutiny now, because this is Chelsea's 5th defeat in their last 8 league games. And there could be no squibbling about the outcome here as far as the Chelsea team is concerned. That it's been going through a lot of changes recently as well. So, but yes, a great story for Leicester, who are now at the top of the league as well.
Yes, and as for sports news from the Emirate of Sharjah Sports Council announced the opening of registration for the 3rd edition of the running race that started on Saturday, January 16th, in cooperation with the Al Qudra Sports Management and with the participation of various groups of society and age groups. So basically, this race aims to encourage sports and make it a lifestyle for everyone in the community, and also to maintain public health with observance of all preventive and precautionary measures. So the competition will cover 3 distances: 2.5 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and 10 kilometers, and targets at least 500 competitors from both genders. Competitors can register through the website eevents.ae/SHJ-run no later than Wednesday, the 10th of February. So according to the chairman of the Sharjah Sports Council, Isa Hilal Al-Hazami, he said on Friday, February 12th, the first running races will be launched in the university city of Sharjah as part of a series of community races for this season, with the aim of spreading the culture of sports and also urging the various groups of society to participate according to the vision and directives of His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, a Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah. and his wife, Her Highness Sheikha Jawahar bint Mohammed Al Qasimi, chairperson of the Supreme Council for Family Affairs, and the follow-up of Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed bin Sultan Al Qasimi, Crown Prince and Deputy Ruler of Sharjah, chairman of the Sharjah Executive Council, in support of sports and athletes. Of course, he added also that the first 3 winners will get either gold, silver, and bronze medals, while each participant will receive a participation medal and an electronic certificate.
Yes, exactly. And so that's a great initiative to look forward to for sure. And in terms of the world of cricket at the moment, just to give you an update, a match has been delayed by rain in Bangladesh, Dhaka. West Indies started Bangladesh won the toss, elected to field first, and West Indies has scored 15 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. So that's going on. South Africa are in Pakistan at the moment, and they're gearing up for their test match that is set to start on the 26th of January. So 6 more days of training and isolating in their hotels, and that's what's going to be happening. Quinton Didcock has spoken a little bit more about what's going on. He says we are across the road from the training facilities. We're only allowed in our rooms and team room because of the COVID-19 restrictions. And he said that the rooms look nice. It's not easy from an emotional side and a mental side to be isolated, but you're trying to keep yourself mentally stable and perform for your country. So it is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, and we will keep you posted about all of those encounters. Well, for the halftime majlis and for morning majlis, this is all it really, and we will be back again tomorrow morning bright and early. Lots of very important interviews lined up for tomorrow, so we're gearing up for a big show. But then yes, on Friday it's going to be a live show for Pulse 95 at Al Jada for the Manbath program. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis or Pulse 95 for lots more musical entertainment. We'll be back again very soon.
That's right. And check out our podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud. Just type in Morning Majlis.
If you liked this episode of the Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.